Okay, so just to tell you what's going to happen in this webinar. So, firstly, after Laksha has made the introductions, I'm going to talk about, the organization's work and why we are doing it and what is it that we are doing. After that, we have a presentation by Mr. Boyega. He is going to introduce 17 entrepreneurial ventures related to sustainability. And then we have a session by Stephen LIAROS. He's from Australia. He's a town planner. And he is going to be talking about, how circular economies can be put into practice in integration with planning. So Stephen's session is through a video message, and he is also running a course on that. So we would also like to know from you, the kind of feedback you might have and your interest in doing those courses. Plus, during my presentation, I'm going to talk about the courses that we are going to launch because we had sent out the survey forms, and a lot of you said that you want input from our side on two main things. One is the proposal development, and the other is short courses for yourself and for your organizations. So that is what we are starting first. We are starting short courses, and that also includes proposal development content. So let's see. I mean, they are as of now targeted for launch in March of this year, 2021. So I think it's 12:20 now. Laksha, I think we can start.
Okay. Hello everyone. I'm Akshay. I'm the founder of futurewebinar.com. We are here with a partner of Chris. The today topic is climate change, Paris, and launch of short courses. Sustainability and Adaptation Planning Foundation in partnership with Chris and Future Webinars. Welcome to the fourth webinar in our series on online climate change and sustainable development issues. We are waiting everyone to join us in the launch of our short course on key issues and learn from international practitioners on aspects related to climate change and sustainability. I would like to welcome Mr. MEESHA Tandon, who is a social entrepreneur subject expert in water, urban development, sustainable urban planning. He has also got some various awards when it comes to the related to environment. She has done a great job in social impact, and he has got a 15 years of experience in urban sustainable development. Welcome, Ms. Nisha Tandon.
Thank you. Thanks, Lakshya. So I'll start with a presentation. I'm going to share my screen, and till the time people are also joining, we'll start with some background information. I hope my screen is visible, Lakshya. Is my screen visible, Lakshya?
Yes, yes, you're good to go.
Yeah. Okay, so today's topic is going to be on climate change praxis, as in how do we put all these talks that we do into practice. And this is in partnership with, this is being organized by Sustainability and Adaptation Planning Foundation and CRESP, along with Lux organization. Now, as I said, why is this not changing? Okay. As I said, there are 3 sessions today. The first session is by MEESHA. I'm an urban water and climate change expert. So I'll talk about what we are doing and how we are doing, and we are going to launch our website today, and we're going to launch our short courses today. The second session is by Boyega. He is an ECODISTRICT accredited professional and CEO of ENVIROMAX Global Resources Limited. He is going to talk about how he's working in collaboration with other organizations towards enhancing climate actions through sustainable enterprises. And then the last session is by Stephen LIAROS. He is director of POLISPLAN, He is a town planner and works as a consultant in Australia. His session is going to be on planning for a network of circular economy villages. So let's talk about why we're doing this first. So because we're in the decade of action, 2020 to 2030. Now we're in 2021. So 2021 to 2030 is now the most crucial period which will decide how we go ahead in terms of climate change and sustainable development. And as you all must be knowing, the climate talks have been going on since a very, very long time, since humans realized that the development activities we are doing are having adverse impacts on the environment. And it has started from 1972, if not before. So UNEP and all of you must have heard about the Brundtland Commission in 1987, which termed the which coined the definition of sustainable development. After that, we've had many landmark years. IPCC was formed, UNCED Rio Declaration in 1992, UNFCCC came into being. There was COP 3 on Kyoto Protocol, which enabled carbon trading. There was Marrakesh Accord, there was Bali Action Plan, there was the Copenhagen Accord in 2009, Rio Plus 20 conference in 2012, and 2015, most importantly, is a very important year, as you all know, because the SDGs as well as the Paris Agreement started in this year. So the decade of action is marked by these two main initiatives, the Sustainable Development Agenda for 2030, and this is a set of 17 goals and 169 targets, which are targeted towards people, planet, prosperity, partnership, and peace. And as you all must be knowing, they have been, reshuffled into these 6 transformations to make them align better with the policies of countries and how, countries formulate their policies whilst leaving no one behind. So education, gender and equality, they take care of a lot of goals, then health, well-being and demography, then energy, decarbonization and sustainable industries. And like this, there are 6 transformations under which the SDGs are clubbed. Now, what we are also working towards, although this concept is still being debated very hugely, but there is a possibility that your development need not, I don't know if you can see my cursor, but your development, your GDP, although GDP itself is a questionable index of development, but your development and your environmental pressures need not be correlated. You can be developing whilst you're not asserting tremendous environmental pressures on the resources that you have. Now, I would also recommend this Sustainable Development Report 2020, and they also have this dashboard where you can see individual country rankings. There are maps and country profiles and data for each country. Now, why this report is important is because during the time of pandemic, they have tried to correlate how sustainable development goals progress has been whilst the economies have been held down by the pandemic. And this is absolute SDG performance gaps. And I want to highlight this for India. You can see the reds. There is a tremendous impact on India's performance here. We can see in terms of the SDGs because of the pandemic. So there's a lot that has been done, but there's a lot that still needs to be done. And there are other countries also like China and even US and European Union, which have faced setbacks because of the pandemic. And the other important agreement, as I had said, is the Paris Agreement, where we have this target of achieving 1.5 degrees of limiting the global warming to 1.5 degrees by 2030. And we have to try and go carbon neutral by 2050. And for that, it is very important that all emissions peak by 2030, and after that, they start declining. What we also need to understand is that climate change is an aspect which can threaten and reverse progress that has already been made. We have seen this in the case of the pandemic. The progress that was being made by the cities has been reversed, although this is indirectly related to climate change. But yes, we cannot say that the pandemic and climate change are not related at all. So we should also look at the opportunities that it is presenting, because with this huge difficulty that we've had, there have also been tremendous opportunities that have come about. Now, if you look at this graph, the dark blue line here, I don't know if the cursor is visible. I'll just get a pointer. Just a second. Yeah. So this blue line shows how we can progress in terms of the global warming with the current policy scenario. And this is what we need for the 2 degrees Celsius range. There is a huge gap, and even bigger gap for the 1.5 degree range. So you can see the kind of gap that is there. So there is a huge amount of scope for intervention at any scale, at any level, and across all sectors, I would say. Now, this is a map showing the climate risk index. You can see how countries like India, China, even America, they are amongst the top 10 in terms of the climate risk index for 2020. Australia here is relatively low in that terms. So now we come to the praxis part of it, how we are trying to address it through our initiatives and how you also can get involved. So basically till now we have had an outreach of 1000 plus, and this has been through different kind of engagements and events. We've had training programs for school children and youth in cities, and we have reached out to tier 1 cities, and we've reached out to almost 370 to 400 students in Indian cities. These are some of the images of those interactions. We also played some games with them which helped them understand climate change in a better way. We have done webinars, like you all know. We've had 250 plus people attend these webinars before this one, and we've had more than 650 registrations from more than 50 countries. This is old data. So we also have this Climate Leaders platform, and we've already organized 2 events under this platform, rather 3. So there are 3 groups formed here. One is for climate change, one is for water resources, and one is for waste management. We've had webinars organized for the people who've shown interest in these groups. So we've had webinars on wastewater management already. We've had webinars on solid waste management already. And the idea is that if the climate leaders want to take up some initiatives, we can make them as speakers in our webinars, and we can provide them more opportunities at national and international platforms. Now, we have also launched this website. I will just share the website with you. The website address is soapfoundation.org. Lakshya, is my screen visible? Is the website visible?
Yes, your website is visible.
Okay, so that's the ID, SUAPfoundation.org, and here you can keep a track of our activities. There are webinars, training programs, climate leader platform, online short courses. We also do consultancy and research, although these are still under construction. You can see all the webinars that we're doing. So the recordings and the links to those recordings are here. Information on the training programs also you can refer to. There are two important tabs here. One is for membership. So if you want to become a member, you can click here and fill your information in one of the forms that will appear. And what this will help you with is that once you take part in any of our short courses, I'll just talk to you about those short courses. You'll get a 10 to 20% discount in the fee for these courses. So you please feel free to explore the platform. And this is the Climate Leaders platform that I was talking about. And we've had these two events with 4 speakers already. And now back to the presentation. Just a second. Yeah. So these are the short courses that we're launching. The first one is on integrated basin management. So here what we're going to do is that this will cover the concept of basin level planning. It will cover the concept of integration in water resources management and sustainable development. It will cover multi-stakeholder platforms. Some of you who would have attended Anna's session on multi-stakeholder platforms would already have some idea. So more detailed interaction with Anna on that subject would happen under this course. And then we'll also have speakers from a case study in India. So a northeastern state in India has done tremendously good work in terms of basin management. So we'll share that case study, and some people who are involved with that case study will be sharing their experiences with you. Then there is a course on monitoring and evaluation. This will be taken by another expert. She is also working prominently in the water sector for more than 15 years now. And then there is a course on proposal development where there will be multiple speakers, and we'll tell you how best you can develop a proposal for international funding. And then there is also a course on solid waste management, learnings from the Indian experiences. As you know, there is a, sorry, as you know, there is a Swachh Bharat mission that has been launched in India. So we'll share some examples with you from that Swachh Bharat mission or Clean India campaign. And one of the persons, or rather both the people, one is an expert in solid waste, plastic waste management, and the other one is an expert in implementing with the state government. So both of them will be sharing their experiences with you. These are, however, paid courses, so you can keep a track of them through our website, and we'll also be sending out emails for this. And there are also social media pages, LinkedIn and Facebook. You can connect to them. They're on our website also. Directly, you can access them from there. So thank you so much. And I'll just quickly show you how you can access our Facebook pages from the website. Can you see the website, Lakshya?
I can see the
Yeah. So, audience, if you look at these icons here, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, they'll take you to our respective social media pages, and these. I hope they're pretty evident. And that's all from my side. Thank you, and over to you, Lakshya.
Uh, Thanks for such a lovely presentation, ma'am. It was a great presentation and eagerly waiting for the courses. I'm myself interested for these courses. Definitely, we will make the people enroll them. Uh, Here is Mr. Bayoga. He has got a rich experience. He is currently the principal consultant, ENVIROMAX Global Resource Limited, Nigeria. He's also project coordinator at Social 17 project. He is a district member of Society for Environment Accessibility and Pollution Mitigation. I would like to welcome Mr. Bayoga.
All right. Hello, everyone. Hello everyone, I hope you can all hear me. Good to be here.
Yes, you are audible, sir.
All right, thank you. Is it time yet for my presentation?
Yes, sir, you can start.
All right, Misha, could you
Hello,
please share?
Boyega.
Yeah,
How are you?
hi. Yeah, but very well. I'm so sorry I joined late. I sincerely apologize for that.
No, that's
I don't know if Misha,
okay.
if you could share my slide from your end.
Right. Lakshya, can you share Boyega's slides, please?
Okay,
Yeah. So, Boyega, thanks for joining us at such an early hour in your country.
Yeah, thank you so much. I mean, it's also awesome to see kinsmen from Nigeria. I can see Babayo. I also see Morgan, the
Have some
professors from
familiar
Nigeria.
faces.
It's exciting to really have people from this part joining. Well
Great.
done on the launch of the website and that of the short courses as well. So I look forward to. I want to be a student.
And
Okay,
maybe
please could you
as
bring
well.
the slide up so we could get on this quickly.
So, Lakshya, just let us know when the website, when the PPT has been shared. Yeah.
just give me 1 minute. He's starting.
Okay, so let me cancel this out.
Okay, I'm just sharing.
All right.
I think is visible.
Okay. Yeah, I think this is fine.
Okay, we can start.
Okay, so we can move to the next one. Yes.
Okay,
So this morning I'm actually going to be sharing morning, afternoon. I'll be sharing with us enhancing climate action through sustainable enterprises. We're going to be looking at the introduction, some concept of sustainability, core elements of sustainable development goals, some pillars of sustainable development goals. Then we have other items, the changing climate, how Solution 17 is implementing sustainability agenda, Solution 17 climate enterprises projects, the burden of entrepreneurship in developing countries, and I think I didn't put it here, how we encourage entrepreneurship, and then some conclusions. Next, please. So the introductions will come on the heels of what do we do at Solution 17? We Solution 17 is like a partnership with Covenant University, a place where we mobilize academia, scholars, students, youth, corporate organizations, and everyone across the world to take action to protect the planet, our world, and our future that has remained under threat of diseases, poverty, hunger, growing inequality, and climate crisis. So the greatest hazard that is currently facing humanity right now. And at ENVIROMAX, we focus on social innovation, resource efficiency, climate change, adaptation, environmental consultancy, circular economy and sustainability, sustainable farming, oil and gas, safety and environmental and social risk governance. Next, please. So we're looking at the fact that sustainability focuses on meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their needs. This is adapted from the Portland Commission report. This is to also see what sustainability is resting upon. It's resting upon the social, the environmental, and the economy. Something we're going to see again as we move on in this presentation that is also known as people, profit, and planet to really bring these in briefly. Next, please. So my slides really to also keep us abreast with the Sustainable Development Goals. And this centers around the economy, the environment, and then and the social. So all the sustainable development goals from goal 1 to goal 17 hinges on the importance of these three themes: the economy, the environment, and our social life. So as we review these and move on, to look at it, we are considering the fact that there is partnership. Partnership is required to drive the achievement and success of this goal. And one of the important things that is very, very key in what we are doing today is the fact that there's a launch of a website.
Can I just interrupt you? Laksha, can you please stay on the tab with the presentation because it's coming and going. So just stay on the tab with the presentation, please.
Okay.
All right, so we're trying to ensure that we are achieving what is expected of us as to making sure that this goal is achieved. Next, please. Now, if we consider the true essence of why we really need to look at sustainable development, we realize that we really cannot do away with the people. I don't know why can you see my face?
Your camera is not on, GBOYEGA.
Okay. All right, so we're talking about the pillars of the sustainable development goals. We are determined to end poverty and hunger in all their forms, and that's why we are considering people. That's why the SDG is considering people. Then the SDG is also looking at bringing human beings to enjoy prosperous and fulfilling lifestyle through prosperity. They want to achieve peaceful coexistence across the globe. Again, the planet is ours to have and make sure that it's sustainable. Then we really cannot go around all this without partnership. Next, please. So the climate crisis as it is beyond an environmental issue, and I'm sure you agree with me. It is also a very significant economic and social problem that require innovation and disruptive strategy to solve. And there's a universal agreement that urgent action is needed to be taken if we are to save the planet. And this is also embedded in what actions that we are taking today to create that awareness and then bring to the fore the reality that we need to act in order to save the changing climate. And you can see from the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, it says it's a change of climate which is attributed directly or indirectly to human activities that alters the composition of the global atmosphere, which is in addition to natural climate variability observed over comparable time period. I had actually learned a few things about integrating climate information into adaptation and mitigation. And it is very, very clear in this distinction that there's a distinction between climate change attributable to human activities and the ones that are climate variability attributable to natural resources. Next, please. Next slide, please. All right, so how is Solution 17 implementing sustainability agenda? Just like I told you, I'm a project coordinator at the Solution 17 project. What we have done so far is to actually ensure that the students of Covenant universities, through rigorous profiling, we've been able to come up with 17 out of 47 teams that made submission. And this we did through design thinking. Many of them went through the process of ideation. They have also been trained. We have engaged in partnership. We have been collaborating with organizations, UNDP, PPC, This Day Nigeria, and the Covenant University itself. They've all gone through innovation labs. We've also been mentoring them. At Solution 17, we have refiners and mentors. So we are attached to a number of these teams and we give them direct mentoring and advisory. Let's move, please. Please let me know how much time I have left. And at Solution 17, I decided to bring it up to also by way of sharing experience so that you know there's a team somewhere doing something strategic and unique to also enhance climate action enterprises. There are 17 solutions. This is agro husk waste. They plan to produce 100% biodegradable single-use tableware and packages, green energy using rice husk for generation of power. Solar genesis is also going into solar, ensuring that each house is powered at each time. Green planting is also providing solution by tracking tree growth. Project Terra is looking into waste management. Let's go over this. The next one, please. Climate Act is doing a lot through its academy. The plastic operation collect plastic and making change in a little way. The carbon credit value chain, digital carbon market, the waste action. Next, please. Nature resuscitation, just to plant trees and ensure that we resuscitate our carbon sink. TVL, the Victor League, that one is using gamification to engage teenagers to know more about climate change, climate action. Retreat, plant trees and ensure that we solve the problem of degradation. A victory to biogas, ensure that people have access to gas and then without necessarily engaged in using of woods and then that will increase loss of biodiversity. Next, please. We have Carbon Tech, Pet City to collect pet bottles, plastics, and then use them in rebuilding the city. The greenhouse sink, zero plastic waste, climate movies. You know, how would you feel if you are going to the movies to actually watch movies that are exposing the things that we need to know about climate? These 17 projects have all been registered and they have in fact received non-conditional grants from UNDP Lagos State for them to start off, which we are taking off almost immediately. Next, please. Now, the burden of entrepreneurship in developing countries. We realize that many developing countries are battling with the challenges of creating an enabling environment for problem solvers and capable local entrepreneurs. So there's an increasing enthusiasm for entrepreneurship, yet the risk associated with becoming an entrepreneur are too high. I'm sure a number of us will agree with me at that level. In November and December, I participated at the Climate Innovation Labs Africa and Asia Pacific by SeedStars and the CTCN, Center for Climate Technology and Climate Technologies Center and Network. Solution 17 have provided and embedded in its project a culture of sustainability with economic incentives, education, and skills that they will need to make effective use of the opportunity. You know, I told you what we are doing to actually enhance sustainability. In order to empower more females, there are more females on the entire team than their male counterparts in a field that is well dominated by male champs. According to the Global Entrepreneurship Research Association Global Report 2018, women are underrepresented in this space. However, Solution 17 is providing a veritable ecosystem for every entrepreneur to thrive. Next. How do we enhance climate action enterprises? So in order to encourage local entrepreneurship, public and private actors should be quick to do the following. Promote opportunities for entrepreneurship through targeted communication and awareness program, which is one thing I like about our gathering this morning. Incentivize individuals to become entrepreneurs by introducing policies that support entrepreneurship and job creation. This may include task force for small businesses, microfinancing, social protection program, and regulatory reform that makes it easier to do business. There's need to build capacity of would-be entrepreneurs to implementing suitable education and training programs. So all the team members that belong to this Solution 17 project. They have all been trained. They've all been put through series of ideation that implementing their projects will not be stressful or more engaging. So encourage participation of female entrepreneurs by introducing tailored niche support program. We also need to promote international networking between local small and medium-sized enterprises and those of other countries. So I'll be looking forward to partnership and collaboration between us at Sustainability and Climate Action Foundation to see how best we can move on. This is adapted from UNFCCC Technology Executive Committee report number 12. Next, please. Now, I'll take this. I'll take the one. Now, 17 climate action enterprises, according to the original plan, to really buttress all that I've said about this project, is that it will increase to 289 by the end of 2021 through entrepreneurship network marketing model, and in turn expected to grow to at least 5 million direct and indirect beneficiaries by September 2030. Soon, we shall be launching innovative green financing for the SDGs that will be basically for this project, the first in the world. The last time we had an innovation lab exposure with the 17 team members, the Director General of the United Nations Information Center in Lagos, Mr. Kayanja, said, I want you guys to be looking forward to replicating these 17 projects in all the 774 local governments in Nigeria. That is going to be very loud if these are taken to the local level. Last December as well, I was with Lagos State. I facilitated a session that hampers on the necessity for the SDGs to be taken from a bottom-up approach, taking it to the doorstep of the local government. There are 57 representatives from the 57 LGAs and LCDAs who participated at that event, where I was one of the facilitators. A person who sees a problem is a human being. A person who finds a solution is visionary. And the person who goes out and does something about it is an entrepreneur. Navin Jain, an Indian entrepreneur. I'm sure this person will not, this quote will not be unfamiliar to you, MEESHA and Latte. Next, please. So, are there questions and answers? I'm sure we will take care of that in the course of this meeting. Next, please. So, on this note, I'd like to say thank you for your rapt attention and thank you for listening. Thank you for the opportunity to be part of this progress this day.
Great, GBOYEGA. This was very interesting. There are a few questions that I have already before anybody else. I
Okay.
hope I'm audible. Could you have your
Yes,
camera on,
sir.
please? Okay, probably there's some technical issue. So
Yeah,
GBOYEGA, yeah.
I can't seem to have my camera or my I don't know.
Yeah. So I was just wondering if these ventures have been selected only out of Nigeria or from a set of global applications, and are they working only in Nigeria or can they work outside also?
Okay, so what we have done is they have been selected. This is a specific project that is meant to be implemented within Covenant University, Nigeria.
Right.
Yeah, so now there's an ongoing partnership with Lagos State to also replicate them and start implementation within Lagos State.
Right. So there are two of these, especially the climate movies one, rather three, maybe the carbon trading one
Yeah.
and the zero plastic one. So I think these are three kind of interventions which can cross borders and look for partnership across borders also. There are a lot of entrepreneurs that I also work with in India. So it will be interesting to have some exchanges and look at the possibilities of how in Indian enterprises can probably benefit from them and vice versa. I think there's a definite potential there.
Oh, absolutely, that is possible. And then, just like I said, we're looking at taking this to the global space. So imagine that what is going to have an exchange with about 5 million direct exchange by 2030 is originating from just this 17. I mean, that what a way to build a global solution. So it's the projects and the programs are all open for exchanges and for exchange of ideas and then cross-border collaboration and partnership.
Right. So, any of you have any questions for Boyega, please send them in the chat box or the questions box. There's one already. How do we get your PPT? I think if Boyega is okay with it, we can send it across to those who need it.
Oh yeah, you
Uh,
can go ahead.
yeah. So, anything else? Any questions for Boyega? There is one message request that it's showing, but I'm not able to see it in my. So, Lakshya, if there's any unread chat message, then you can also go ahead and read it out. But
There is nothing message right now.
okay. Okay, so in that case, what we'll do is we'll launch two short polls quickly. So these are polls on the short courses that I had talked about. And thank you, Boyega. Thanks for the wonderful presentation. And I hope you'll be with us till the end of the session so that if somebody has some questions, they can ask.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
yeah. So how, okay, hello, how we get funding for SDG 6? Sohail Kumar has asked this. How can we get funding for SDG 6? Boyega, you want to take that?
Um,
SDG 6 is on water and
Yeah,
sanitation.
water and sanitation, yes. Clean water and sanitation. So thank you for that question. What is important really, and what I have seen in the course of my exposure as mentor at, let me say, 4 innovation labs now. I participated as mentor at the Africa versus Virus Challenge, sponsored by Africa Development Bank. I also did one with the Hacking COVID-19 by HEC. Now the two innovation labs by CTCN and SeedStars. What is important is that as entrepreneurs or as early entrepreneurs that are looking forward to funding, you also need to be able to present a problem statement that is attractive and can be expanded. So when you having presented these, then you are going to look into the process that it will take you to also mainstream that product. So it's easy to say, how can you get funding? But what are you offering? You must be able to develop a minimum viable product that can be replicated, that is also scalable. So if you bring this up, I can assure you that there are multiple open online investors that are looking at supporting projects that are solving problems. So what is important is that be a problem solver. The WHO has a very effective WASH programs that they do, especially with local government areas in countries. I've seen WASH actors at work. So funding really, to me, if you like to get in touch, I can assist in connecting you to available funding opportunities. Well, it means that I don't have them at hand, but what is important is that I can easily pick out organizations that are requesting or that are requesting for application, that are calling for applications that you can submit your idea. What is important is have an idea that is smart replicatable, scalable, and it can solve problems globally. Thank you.
Right. Thanks for the response, Boyega. So, Sohail, even I have a response for you. If it depends actually on what kind of intervention you're working towards. If you have a solution or an innovation, then as an entrepreneur, there are a lot of opportunities under Startup India, and there are multiple platforms and multiple organizations under the Atal Innovation Mission that are working towards finding young entrepreneurs and innovators. So there's definitely a possibility that we can connect you with them, but it's highly competitive, and if you have a good product which you have tried out and it's solving a critical problem, then I think there's definitely a scope. So you can write into us if you need any further support on that, or if you want to discuss. But I would prefer if you do not discuss any IP related content, just give us an overall idea and we can tell you where best to go. The other option is that if you want to work in the water sanitation sector, but you do not have any particular innovation and you want to go ahead with existing innovations, then the government of India has Namami Gange project, the Atal Bhujal Yojana. That depends upon what kind of aspect related to water and sanitation you want to work on. Swachh Bharat mission also. So the municipalities and the collectors in the respective city and the rural area might be the right resource persons to start with. So it depends. We'll need some more information on what exactly is the intervention that you're looking at. So any other questions? And till people are thinking and writing questions, I think Lakshya, we can launch the polls. So these polls are on two questions that we want to know regarding the short courses that we talked about. The first one is that would you want the short courses and webinars to be on weekdays or on weekends? And would you be interested in attending paid short courses? So these are the two polls that we are going to launch now, and we would request you to answer to them before we start with Stephen's presentation. So Lakshya, can you please launch the polls?
I have already launched the poll, but if you want, I will launch it again.
Okay, because I can't see it, so I don't know. So can you please write in the chat box if you have the poll, if you have the poll on your screen and you're able to vote? Because I just see yes 100%. So which is the first poll that you've launched, Laksh?
The first one is, would you be interested in attending paid courses? That we have, I think, got almost related to something 100+%.
Okay, so I'm also typing the email ID here for those of you who want to connect with us. It's suapfoundation@gmail.com. You can write into this, or if you want to write to me directly, you can write to meeshatandon@gmail.com. And thanks, Melanie. You are saying that the polls are visible. So great. I look forward to the responses. Sorry, Lakshya, I missed that one. Which is the first poll that we're doing?
We have two polls parallelly going on.
Acha,
Uh,
parallelly going.
yes. So first one is, would you be interested in attending paid short courses? Second one, would you want the short courses and webinars to be on?
Okay. Boyega, you are not able to see the poll because you're a speaker. So has everybody voted? should just let me know, Lakshya, when we can go ahead with the results and with Stephen's presentation.
The voting will keep on happening. We can go with Steven presentation. At the end, we will have the results of the votes.
Okay. I hope the poll is not blocking anybody's screen like it
No,
does
no,
with
no.
some of the
It
webinars.
will keep on going and going. There's no problem with the
Okay.
screen.
Okay. Okay, so now what we'll do is we'll see a presentation by Stephen. Stephen is basically from Australia, and he's a town planner. So I'll just quickly give a short introduction to Stephen. Stephen LIAROS is a strategic town planner and author of Rethinking the City, which was published in 2014 and it's available on Amazon. He's interested in how the internet and other new technologies, together with circular economy and sharing economy business models, are reshaping cities. Stephen has qualifications in civil engineering, town planning, and environmental law. So, with this, I would request Lakshya to play the video by Stephen. This video will give you an idea about the course that Stephen is okay. Is Hadiza is also not able to see the polls. So maybe Lakshya, you can launch them. I don't know. You'll have to see. Can't
I will launch the poll again. If somebody is not able to answer, firstly they can answer again.
two
So
people
we will
are
have.
not able to see them.
But there is an issue that we have got of answers. So people are able to see that. I think there will be much problem with the Chrome browser. They have issues.
Okay. So basically, this video will tell you a bit about the course that Stephen is launching. Uh, uh, you know, basically what he's also trying to do is have a 1 week course which is a separate paid course, but this video will give an idea about the theme which he's trying to work towards. And if you're interested in connecting with Stephen, you can write to me. I have already given my email IDs and we'll connect you directly with Stephen. However, if you feel that there is a need for a developing country mix or a developing country perspective in this, then also you can let us know and we'll work with you towards it. So Lakshya, please play.
Okay. Also, if somebody is not able to answer the poll, I have asked a question, the same question in the questions tab. They can answer there.
Hi there and welcome. My name is Stephen LIAROS, and on behalf of my partner Nilmini De Silva and myself, I'd like to present to you the concept of circular economy villages that we've developed here at POLISPLAN. I'm coming to you from the lands of the Guringai and Darug peoples on the northern edge of Sydney, and I'd like to express my gratitude to First Nations people across the continent for their stewardship of this land for thousands of years. The circular economy villages model actually incorporates many elements of Indigenous thinking, particularly living in alignment with natural ecological cycles, caring for country, and thinking in systems. Our presentation today is structured so that we can start with a brief overview of the many interconnected economic, social, and environmental issues that we are all currently facing. By looking at them all together, we begin to see them not as isolated issues, but as symptoms of a systemic problem that requires a systemic or a more holistic response. Once we've taken that position, we'll revive Ebenezer Howard's idea of the garden city from over 120 years ago and reimagine it for the 21st century. That is, how would we design a new town or garden city in the 21st century using systems thinking? How might we integrate renewable energy microgrids, water harvesting, electric vehicles and car sharing platforms? How does the internet and mobile technology reshape our cities? I'll illustrate how new energy and information technologies are enabling a new approach to land development that we call the circular economy village. The CEV integrates affordable housing, work and entertainment spaces with water and energy microgrids, shared electric vehicles, and a regenerative agricultural system. We'll then have a look at a few of the cutting-edge projects around Australia to see how some of these ideas are already being implemented, demonstrating their incredible potential to drastically reduce the cost of living, reduce emissions, regenerate landscapes, and create a healthy living environment. And finally, we'll describe what we believe would be the optimal planning processes for the development of a network of circular economy villages, within a local government area, of course, and with the support of the local council and community. Now, of course, this is just a 20-minute overview, and there is much more information available at our website, beautilitydevelopments.com.au. That's Beautility, blending beauty with utility. There's also more information in this peer-reviewed journal article, Implementing a New Human Settlement Theory, Strategic Planning for a Network of Regenerative Villages. Now let's start with this concept that systemic problems require systemic solutions. It can be quite confronting, even overwhelming, to see in a single screenshot all the different issues we are currently collectively facing. Yet this is precisely what we should do. There's a general tendency to deal with these issues individually. When facing a crisis event, we just want to get through it and hope that things will eventually return to normal. I believe that technological change, economic disruption, social inequality, and environmental degradation are changing all our social and economic systems. These reflect a crisis in the way we relate to the land, how we relate to each other, and how we relate to other species. These relationships are shaped by the way we plan and design cities, towns, and villages. But rather than looking at all these problems, we could instead look at all the solutions already being developed and see how we might put these together, like a jigsaw puzzle, to create a better system. An important first step is to recognise that town planning includes both the management of relationships between people and also the physical design and construction of buildings and infrastructure. The project of creating a new system would be greatly simplified if we could design the buildings and infrastructure and limit the number of competing stakeholders. Therefore, rather than working in existing urban areas, the first project should be on rural land in single ownership. The pilot project could be simplified further if that land is in an area where the council and community are supportive of the project. The idea of building a new settlement is certainly not a new one. Over 120 years ago, Ebenezer Howard proposed the development of garden cities. He was concerned that the influx of people into the cities was creating a range of problems, including pollution, congestion, as well as many health issues. Howard proposed the development of garden cities that incorporated the opportunities to be found in towns with the beauty and affordability of the country. He argued that this would draw people out of the cities and redistribute populations in a spontaneous and healthy manner. The same challenge applies today. How do we create attractive and affordable places that are appealing to city dwellers? Unlike the late 19th century when people were leaving the land to move into towns, today many people are wishing to escape from the city. The ability to work remotely and the fear of the COVID-19 pandemic is causing a flight from the city. If I was to develop a 21st century garden city, I would plan for a renewable energy microgrid that would not only provide electricity to houses, but it would also power a small fleet of electric vehicles, both for movement within the village and travel outside. It would also pump and clean water to manage the entire water cycle, both the water quantity and water quality. Extending the ideas of water-sensitive urban design, we would enhance creek lines and riparian corridors, provide wetlands and reservoirs, and add significant urban agriculture. I would adopt the three principles that optimise public health: a walkable environment, access to fresh food, and connection to community. If the village was in a bushfire-prone area, I would ensure that the surrounding landscape was well managed with deep soil holding plenty of moisture. I would locate the circular economy village outside the floodplain and perhaps identify other criteria for determining the best location. Given that we've already talked about food, water and energy, I would purposely design these so that there was sufficient supply of these basic necessities to satisfy the incoming population. This would make them very resilient to future economic shocks or global pandemics. Last but not least, it's important to think about work opportunities. The management of the food, water, energy and transport systems would generate some work locally, but I would look to incorporate other opportunities such as a remote work hub and even waste-to-resource microfactories. This is another interesting development for creating a circular economy. Small-scale technologies that convert inorganic waste into a usable resource. Taking a systems approach, we would integrate the energy, water, food systems, transport and buildings and optimize the synergies of co-location so that energy systems power the water cycle, water irrigates agriculture, which in turn recycles organic waste, soil stores water, energy powers electric vehicles, and passive architectural design minimizes energy demand. While these are some of the key design features of one circular economy village, it's also important to think about connections between settlements in a distributed settlement pattern. Returning to Ebenezer Howard's Garden Cities, he argued that the correct principle of a city's growth is to create a network of smaller settlements rather than sprawling larger cities. This suggests that a relatively standard set of design principles could be developed and incorporated into planning policies. Of course, even though the general design principles could be standardized, each village would be designed to integrate with the local geography and climate, as well as with nearby infrastructure and facilities. A clear planning approval pathway is necessary to provide certainty for investors and future residents. Planning for a network of settlements also allows us to plan for nomads. This is a growing demographic that is obviously not interested in being anchored to one place. The first group is the grey nomads, mainly retirees, but they're also young people who call themselves #vanlifers. Some of these nomads travel for extended periods, some travel for years at a time. Nevertheless, everyone eventually needs a base so they can be settled for a while before moving on. A postal address is also still a necessity. Another group is the digital nomads who want the freedom to take any opportunity anywhere in the world. A circular economy village could offer the services of a postal address and a timeshare arrangement that would suit many of these people. A network of settlements is also well aligned with the indigenous perspective of the landscape as a network of waterholes connected by storylines or dreaming tracks. Just to give you a little more background on us, we set up POLISPLAN as a paperless office in 2013 with the aim of being able to work from anywhere. In 2015, we became mobile to test the idea of being digital nomads and to identify the limitations. We successfully ran our town planning consultancy from this motorhome for 5 years until the COVID lockdown at the end of March this year. At the same time, I've been developing the ideas presented here as a PhD research project at the University of Sydney. Being mobile allowed us to discover and visit the various cutting-edge projects around the country. The Cape, at Cape Patterson, southeast of Melbourne, has been the subject of research by RMIT University, which found that on average its passively designed homes, all with solar panels, draw 88% less electricity from the grid than the average 6-star rated home. This site includes a work hub and incorporates very substantial community gardens, open space and bush regeneration areas. Lockhill Park in Adelaide was a project of the state government-owned Renewal SA. As you can see, this project also achieves dramatic reductions in energy use and greenhouse gas emissions, while also reducing demand for potable water by 74%. Note from the master plan that both of these projects leave a large part of the site for nature, but also use this land for water management, food production and open space. Yarrabilba is a project on the Gold Coast. It's still in the planning phase by Lend-Lease. They are collaborating with QUT to design a complete circular food system. The urban agriculture is proposed to be digitally integrated and able to be replicated in other towns and cities. What you quickly realise when integrating different kinds of infrastructure with the built environment is that it's not efficient to have people in the village buying their electricity separately from different energy companies or have different stakeholder authorities for different utilities. The best approach is to have the entire site managed holistically by one organisation, and that's why it's important to consider other innovations. The build-to-rent development model allows for an entire precinct to be managed by one company. Both the New South Wales and Victorian state governments are promoting build-to-rent, and New South Wales has recently halved the land tax rate for build-to-rent projects. This project, lived by Mirvac, is the first in New South Wales. It just opened in September this year at Olympic Park and shows how life could be so much easier if everything was managed by one organisation. If you're worried though that a few large companies will end up owning every aspect of our daily lives, there are now platforms for getting your friends together and collectively funding a development. I think Domicom is the first in Australia that is registered by ASIC, and it allows you to buy shares in a property or in a development. While you would rent, you can own enough shares to offset that rent. There are also platforms to help a community work together and manage the site, like this one by ResView. It allows you to book rooms, facilities or vehicles, or to request maintenance or access other site information. I hope that gives you an idea of the many changes happening and emerging in precinct scale property development. To fully realise the possibilities though, some strategic planning needs to be done by local governments to encourage this approach in their area. While we at POLISPLAN have 2 possible projects underway, we are always looking for more councils to enable this form of development. The first step for councils is to identify the possibility of a circular economy village in their local strategy. Everything flows from these high-level planning documents to the more detailed policies. With our project in Belgium, the Council has included an action in their housing strategy to facilitate the development of a pilot project. With the project in Victoria, our preferred site has already been identified as a growth precinct in the local planning scheme. In New South Wales, the new state environmental planning policy for special activation precincts could potentially also be used. The next step is locality planning, if it's not already done in the strategic plan. I believe that it's a good idea to develop close to or adjoining an existing township and provide complementary infrastructure and facilities to the town. You could of course provide more than one to achieve a critical scale for the local economy. You could create a linear network along an existing highway so that, for example, managed landscapes of the circular economy villages can act as a bushfire buffer between forests and more populated areas. Alternatively, you could utilise the water management to create fertile microclimates in more arid zones. This will also help improve water quality and flows in our rivers. In addition to identifying appropriate locations, Council's planning policies should set out the circumstances and timing for supporting an amendment to a planning instrument. They should set out the infrastructure delivery requirements, particularly with respect to the relationship with Council's own infrastructure responsibilities. Finally, the policies should also provide certain controls in terms of land area and building scale. In conclusion, our vision is to plan for the development of a network of high-tech regenerative villages that strive towards self-sufficiency and zero waste within their bioregion. Each village will house a diverse community of up to 200 people and will integrate affordable co-working and co-living spaces with water and energy microgrids and a regenerative agricultural system. As I mentioned earlier, there is more information available in this peer-reviewed journal article or at our website. Thank you, and I look forward to questions and further discussion.
Sorry. So a virtual thanks to Stephen for that. And now if anybody has any questions for Stephen's presentation, you can type in. And while you're doing that, Lakshya, can you please read out? Okay, GBOYEGA has a comment that brilliant case studies and innovations. I learned a lot about them. Yeah, awesome presentation. Great. Yeah, I know. Even in the Indian context, you have a lot of circular economy focus on the urban areas, but we seldom realize that it's so much easier to do it in the rural context. And looking at the urban-rural integration is very, very important. So yeah, this is a very, very timely presentation. Anybody else with any comments or questions? Okay. So Lakshya, can you tell us the results of the first two polls? Then we'll launch the second poll. Yeah, so this is actually a video for Stephen. We'll share the link with you. You can write into me and I'll reply back with the link to the video. Yeah, Lakshya, can you please share the results of the first two polls?
The second poll result is going on right now. The poll result is 67% of first one, nearly, and the second one is 60 to 40.
No, I want the answer. So 60%.
So yes, 60% is saying yes for the paid short courses.
Okay. And the other poll?
Other one is like, would you want short courses with webinar to be on? It is not taking weekends. It is only taking yes and no. Though people are saying they want webinar and the short courses.
So now we are going to launch the third poll, which is for Stephen's video. So if you would like to know more about this, or if you found this interesting, or if you want to connect with Stephen, then you can say yes or no to this poll, and accordingly we'll tell you the next steps. So Lakshya, can you please launch this poll?
I am launching the poll. If anybody is not able to get the poll, we will also post the same poll on the questions tab. You can answer there. The poll is launched.
Okay. So thanks, Lakshya, for that. So basically, those of you who are interested in knowing more about Stephen's course and wanting to connect with him, you can please write into me. I am again putting down my email ID here. So please write into me and we will connect you with Stephen for more details. And if any of you feel that there is a need for a developing country perspective in this, then you can also write into us and we'll develop a course together with Stephen to address the developing countries perspective as well. The other thing is regarding the courses that I had talked about, which will be launched on our website, suapfoundation.org. That's swapfoundation.org. So the courses are on integrated basin management, solid waste management, and proposal writing, and monitoring and evaluation. So these 4 courses are being launched, and all these 4 courses are going to be online. They're going to be virtual, and those who attend these courses will get an e-certificate. So a lot of you I know have been asking me for e-certificates and certification for the webinar. So we are not giving out certificates for the webinars, but we will be giving out certificates for those who participate in the paid courses. So if you want to take these courses, these are going to be launched in March, probably around the middle of March or the end of March. We'll be sending you emails for that when they're launched. And also what we'll do is that we'll be connecting you to the website also. Now, if you take the membership of our organization, you can get a 10 to 20% discount on the course fee as well. So that's the whole idea. I'm also typing in the website address again in the chat box for your reference. So that's suapfoundation.org. So Laksh, do we have the poll results yet? Laksh, do we have the poll results yet? You're on mute.
Okay. The poll result is here.
Okay, so can you please tell me the poll results?
Yes, the poll result is, just give me a minute.
Sure. So if any of you have any questions for me or for Boyega or for Stephen, please write in the chat box or in the questions box,
Yes,
because
the poll result is 100% yes.
poll
They will
result
like to connect
is
with
great.
Stephen.
So those of you who would like to connect with Stephen, please write into me. I have given my email addresses, mishatandon@gmail.com, and I have also given the website address through which you can connect. And once you write to me, I'll connect you with Stephen, and you can discuss with him further. The other thing, if you could type in into the chat box, is that do you want a developing country perspective in this as well? You can type in a yes or a no or a Y or a N in the chat box so that we know the broad idea before we close the webinar. So yes or a no in the chat box, please, if you want a developing country perspective in this course. Yes. Okay. Any other opinions? Anybody else with any comments? A yes or a no? Okay, another yes. Oh, that's Laksh. Okay. Laksh, somebody is writing in the questions tab, but somehow I'm not able to read what is being written there. Okay, now I can. Yeah.
One more yes is there. Two more yes.
Okay. Because I
Then
can't see them here.
so we have 4 yes.
Okay. Okay, so I'll just give another minute
5.
for okay, for anybody else who wants to give in their opinion. and then we'll close the webinar. So, Boyega, thanks so much for joining us so early in the morning for you, I understand. And also, it's a Sunday, so I have now decided that I'm not going to do any webinars on Sundays. We'll try to stick to our Saturday schedule, and probably in the second half of India time, we'll try and do these webinars, if not on weekdays. So, Boyega, people here are also thanking you. I will be connecting with Stephen. Great. So, yeah, and it's a good opportunity to connect with each other and to identify synergies between the sustainable entrepreneurship.
If somebody is not able to answer the post, they can check the questions tab. I have already posted all the questions also there, so they can answer there.
Right. So, Lakshya, can you tell me how many yes responses have we received till now, and then we'll close.
Uh, okay. It will come in a percentage. So it has given the percentage.
That's okay.
The percentage I've already told you. First one is 67%. The first post.
No, I just asked yes or no if they want a developing country perspective in this course.
Yes. Okay. That's we
So,
have 5 yes till now. After that, there is nothing.
okay. So then I think we'll close with this. And thank you, Lakshya, for hosting this. It has been really wonderful interacting with you. And thank you, Boyega, for your very informative presentation. And I look forward to how we can associate with some of the entrepreneurs under your Solutions 17 initiative. And thanks to Stephen also for sharing his video and his willingness to connect for the course as well. So thanks everyone for attending, and have a great Sunday now. Goodbye. Thank you.
Thanks everyone for attending the webinar. Future webinar is there. We are a promotion platform for only for environment webinars. Thank you everyone.
Boyega,
Thank
do you
you.
want to have any closing remarks? Yeah.
Uh, all right. I'd like to say thank you, more importantly, to the organizer of the event for this brilliant opportunity. Thank you, Lakshay, for hosting. Again, I bring goodwill messages from the Solution 17 team and then my own team, the ENVIROMAX Global Resource Limited team from Nigeria. I look forward to more collaboration and partnership. I'm available at all time, provided we have enough time to plan ahead for promotional conversations. And that would be glad.
Writing your email in the chat box.
Yeah. Thank you thank you to all the audience for listening. So I'll leave my email in the chat box so you can reach out to me at any time. I'll be glad to respond. Thank you.
Thanks, Boyega. Thanks, Lakshya. Lakshya, once Boyega has typed in his email ID, I think we can close the webinar. And thanks everyone for participating even on a Sunday. Sorry, we could not change the day and keep it on a Saturday this time, but next time we'll definitely do that. So thanks everyone. And Boyega has given his email ID for those of you who are interested. Please note it down. And thanks then. So Lakshya, thank you so much. And I think we can close now.
Okay.
Yeah, Lakshya has also given his website address. So those of you who want to work or collaborate with him on environmental webinars or for promotion of their webinars, you can also connect with him on his website.
This is free of cost only for environment webinars. Any environment webinar, we are doing a free of cost. The website is reachable if you just check it, futurewebinar.com. Webinars.com. It's got wrong because of the tag.
Yes. Okay. If I need to type it again, there's an error in the spelling.
Thank you, Melanie, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Thanks.
I think
Very
right now it is correct. Can you please go and check it again? There's a futurewebinars.com is there. Thank you, everyone.
okay then. Okay, Lakshya. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thanks.
All right, bye everyone.